Mark and I are headed to San Francisco, and it all starts with this nice 7 a.m. ferry.
We spent the first day cruising through Washington and Oregon on the I-5 so we could make it to San Francisco by the next day.
So this was our campsite for the night in the Redwoods of California.
Yeah, so this is apparently the way to go to San Francisco according to Google.
We met our friends in San Francisco and then headed out to Henry Cowell State Park to see the beautiful redwoods. The weather was a little bit rainy, so it was nice because not many people showed up. But by the time we made it down to the Boardwalk in Santa Cruz, the rain and wind had picked up a lot. It was quite torrential, so we didn't actually end up doing any of the rides. But by the time we made it out to the pier, the rain had stopped. So we picked up some ice cream and saw all the beautiful sea lions. We then went just down the road to Natural Bridges State Park, which was quite pretty, but sadly we weren't there when all the monarchs are there during their migration. We continued cruising down the coastline and ended up at San Gregorio Beach, which had some really nice views. We ended off our day by heading to the Google campus, where we learned there's free bikes you could ride around and all the androids you could take pictures of everything, and we really thought it was awesome. Google would be a really cool place to work at. We started off the next day by checking out the Water Memorial, and then we saw the most famous, iconic part of the trip, which is the Golden Gate Bridge, which is quite pretty, but it's supposed to have the golden rolling hills in the background, but it's rained so much that they're green. My favorite part of San Francisco was the Palace of Fine Arts, which was constructed in 1915 for the Panama Pacific Exhibition. And it's only actually about a tenth of the total structures that were made, but it was all done with paper mache and was only meant to last for the event. So it did not last very well, and they actually had to reconstruct everything you see in 1974 because it was not structurally sound at all. On our way over to Ghirardelli's, we stopped by Pier 39, which was a cool little tourist attraction. But Ghirardelli's was super busy, and the ice cream was really expensive there. It was great, but I would have rather just stopped by the Ben & Jerry's at Pier 39 because it didn't have anyone there, whereas the wait at Ghirardelli's was insane.
Only 21% is actually not that steep.
Yeah. We then went to the famous world's steepest street, which isn't even the steepest street in San Francisco. I would have liked to check out the actual steepest street there, but this was pretty cool.
Your truck would not make this hill.
We ended off the day by heading to Twin Peaks, and we got a really great view of the city at night. The next morning, we began the most beautiful part of the trip, which was Big Sur National Park. We went to Andrew Miller State Park to check out the highest rated trail in Big Sur, but the bridge had been washed out and the current was too strong at the river crossing, so we went further up to try and find a calmer river crossing. But where we did cross, we found that the trails didn't line up, so we didn't end up being able to do the hike either way.
Woo. All right. We did it.
As we continued down the road, enjoying how incredibly beautiful Big Sur was. There's tons of pullover spots. We got to see so much beautiful coastline. It definitely was the highlight of the trip. hike we could find that wasn't closed. It's not the best, but we'll take what we can get. Every single park we've come to, we've noticed that they've all been closed, so it's been pretty bad. So the weather has taken a turn for the worse, and that's all along the coast. So we're heading back at a pretty quick pace right now. We're still taking the beautiful scenic coastline, but we're not stopping as much because it's pouring rain everywhere. It's really nice here. We really want to spend more time exploring the coast. Non-stop torrential rain. So we're just gonna hang out, drink some wine, and eat salsa chips to drown our tears.
So immediately when we turned off of the coastal highway, it was just snow. It's pretty slippery, but hopefully we're gonna hit a main highway soon and that it's gonna be a little better.